Tonight, the Prime Minister on the defense on the appointment of Contractors Registrar Omar Archer. What he's saying about his hiring coming up. Also, parliamentarians sounding off on the recent evictions by the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation. More from the House floor straight ahead. And later, it's Cancer Awareness Month. The screenings that are coming to you free of charge coming up. This is Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News brought to you by Flow Evo, powered by BTC. Flow Evo is here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles. Thanks for joining us. Off the top tonight, government officials continuing to defend the appointment of controversial political activist Omar Archer as contractor registrar in the Ministry of Works. This despite the concerns expressed by former Bahamas Contractors Association President Leonard Sands. Tonight, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis justifying his appointment, noting that as a Bahamian, Archer also has a right to work. Sands resigned as Contractors Association president and as a member of the Free National Movement on Sunday. The nation's leader spoke to both issues with our Janaea Noel Ferguson, who joins me now live in studio. Good evening, Janaea.
Good evening, Candino.
All right, now we understand that this is obviously the second long-time party member of the Free National Movement to resign in less than 2 weeks. How is the Prime Minister responding to what may be viewed as a fraction or a faction within his party that's seemingly trying to get out?
Well, Candino, Dr. Minnis appears not to be taking the resignation, of Sands very seriously. In fact, he says it has little or no impact on the party as he had really no substantive post.
Not that involved in the party, so what issues can he express? He's not an official. He's not an executive member, he's not a council member, he's not associated with any branch, no organization that I know, that I'm aware of at the party, so what's the big issue?
Sands' resignation from the Free National Movement and as president of the Bahamas Contractors Association followed that of longtime party member Darnell Osborne, who was unceremoniously fired as chairman of the board at BPL. Now, Sands said that due to political interference and threats if he did not step down, and the fact that Archer has no experience in the industry can make the work of the BCA more challenging as the Bahamas accedes to the World Trade Organization.
There's been no political interference in anything, not to my knowledge. Why would we interfere with anything? And as far as Omar Archer, he's a Bahamian like everyone else. Is he not entitled to work? Is he not entitled to eat? Is he not entitled to sleep? They question mine too. So that's nothing new. They question everybody's. That's nothing new.
Opposition leader Philip Davis also lashed out at government for the appointment and resignation.
This is not the way to empower young Bahamians. The government is clearly sending the wrong message to the Bahamian people, especially the professional class. These two resignations also signals what is a clear road upon which the government has been embarked on from they were elected. And that is to silence voices of opposition.
But despite all of this, the nation's leader said he still believes he has the support of the electorate.
I know I and the party still have the strong support of the people. So it's not a matter of think, I know.
Well, Candino, as you can see, the Prime Minister really not concerned about the noise in the market surrounding Archer's appointment. And as for Sands, he says if he doesn't stand for something, he will fall for anything. Back to you, Candino.
All right. Thanks a lot, Janaea Noel Ferguson, reporting for us live tonight. Thanks a lot, Janaea. Omar Archer breaking his silence after days of public scrutiny over his appointment, telling Eyewitness News he's more than qualified to be registrar. Francesca Brown has his story.
As questions continue to mount over whether Omar Archer is qualified to be the registrar at the Ministry of Works, Archer today defended his appointment, telling Eyewitness News he has been a part of the construction industry for over 4 decades.
From the age of 9, I've learned the trade in the construction industry. I've been a mason from 10 years old, a carpenter from 12. My first foreman job came at the age of 14. when we were building the East Street South Police Station, and also the library there on Wolf Road and Sandhurst Primary School. So my experience goes way, way back for many years.
Last week, in a resignation letter, former Bahamas Contractors Association President Leonard Sands accused Mr. Archer of being behind the sinister and unprecedented political pressure that forced him to resign for the association's greater good. However, Archer today denied those assertions.
As it relates to Mr. Sands and the Bahamian Contractors Association, whatever decision that they came up with, it was internal. And had everything to do with BCA, nothing to do with the ministry nor myself.
And despite assertions from the former president that his resignation came as a result of political pressure, one board member told Eyewitness News today that was not the case.
The presumption, I think, would be a flawed presumption to suggest that we are aware of political pressure. These are utterances from the former president. We've had no communication nor any connection to any evidence of pressure. The issues between the registrar or Mr. Sands, we don't want to amplify in this forum, only because it really isn't a matter for the BCA at this moment.
Interim President Michael Pratt said the BCA has full confidence in Mr. Archer's abilities. However, he admitted he is not sure if Archer is qualified.
We never checked his resume. We were only informed that you were of his appointment. So we have no access to the level of qualification. That question I would like to guide you to take up with the minister. He is the registrar that keeps the registration of licensed contractors in the country. So we are quite capable, that can be handled, I think, more than capably by anyone who the minister we feel has appointed.
Sancheska Brown, Eyewitness News.
All right, debate surrounding the evictions of residents by the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation last week for failure to make good on their mortgages made its way to the halls of Parliament today as members began debate on a resolution to convey the old Foreign Affairs building on East Hill Street to the BMC for a new office space. Housing and Environment Minister Ramal Ferreira tabled the resolution and outlined the state of affairs at the BMC, noting that an internal initiative is underway to shore up finances. He added that the eviction orders now being enforced are matters that have been on the books for years, and some homeowners refused or made no attempt to pay. He gave this example of an individual who took out a mortgage in 2007 and was recently evicted.
During the process of foreclosure, it was discovered that the client had a deduction from another bank, another local bank, in the amount of $950, yet the client refused to have a deduction made to the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation. As a result of the client's financial situation, a deduction could then not further be made because they had committed the $960 on a consumer loan after they entered into the mortgage arrangement. The client was granted 90 days to vacate and then also received an extra 30-day extension. Meanwhile, while this is going on, as usual, the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation is paying homeowner insurance.
Seconding the resolution was Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands, who said that the BMC is on the brink of financial collapse due to the negligence of the former Progressive Liberal Party administration. Meanwhile, South and Central Andros Member of Parliament Picewell Forbes took issue with the government's housing plan, which allows those who qualify to buy lots for home construction.
They have awarded mortgages as rewards to the party faithful. They have refused to fund the bond sinking fund as they should. And as a consequence, Mr. Speaker, we are all paying for it now. What they will say is, fix it. You are now in power. You fix it.
That's what they said.
George, the Speaker, we want to believe, and we believe in the Bahamas, that gives people a hand up and give them an opportunity in their fair land. That is obvious. And you could buy a lot until you're tired. Unless you could build something on that lot, Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, it says nothing to augment life for the poor and the everyday challenge in our society.
Less than 5 protesters of the Citizens for Justice, Economic Empowerment and Education Association gathered in Parliament Square this morning, calling on Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands to resign. Association Chairman Ricardo Smith says the group's primary concern, the alleged disregard by Dr. Sands for granting a $1.8 million contract without board approval.
Sands would take the 72 hours to reflect on what he has done, to reflect on the disgrace and the shame that he's caused the cabinet, to understand that he will drag this government down, to understand that he has shamed everything that is decent and honorable about anybody who sits in that cabinet. Any member of the cabinet who sits with Sands, who stays with him, is dishonorable. Anyone who stays with him is dishonorable. And I can tell you that we will not stop. This is only the beginning. We will not stop. Dwayne Sands must demit the office as Minister of Health.
Well, the health minister responded to the concerns of the association, noting that the matter is still under investigation. He summed up today's protest as simply political mischief.
It's a matter before the courts. It would be irregular and inappropriate for me to comment.
So you have no comment?
Yeah, I'm doing my job for the Bahamian people. I will continue to do the best that I can. But this is politics. If you look at the actors, you'll realize who they are. I hope they're well paid.
Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis met with doctors this morning who protested 2 weeks ago on the poor conditions at the Princess Margaret Hospital and lack of benefits. This followed a number of challenges at PMH that have made headlines in recent weeks. Although government has said there are limited finances to address the laundry list of issues, the Prime Minister said last night that it has not affected the level of care at PMH and that his administration is working on the issues.
PMH has always had challenges. It's nothing new. However, with the limited resources that they have, they still deliver the best quality health care you can find. I had my surgical procedure done. I went to PMH because I have both confidence in the institution and the physicians. Many people don't. They run to the U.S. But I am convinced that we have some of the most skilled, qualified physicians, and we offer the best possible care under the circumstances that we have. We have limited resources, we have limited money, but in spite of that, you look at our record and you look at other records throughout the nation, throughout the world, we have an excellent healthcare record.
Police need your help locating 14-year-old Philippa Kelly of Mark Avenue in Pinewood Gardens. Police say she was reported missing by her family earlier this week. She is described as having slim build with brown complexion. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you are asked to contact police at 919 or 328-TIPS. All right, we're just getting started in Eyewitness News, but when we come back, head of one local advocacy group fighting for the rights of persons with disabilities. Find out their latest plight coming up. And later, Miss Bahamas launching a new initiative. She partners with the wife of the Prime Minister. We've got more on that coming up, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast. You are looking at live pictures over Freedom Farm, where the temperature is right around 80 degrees. We're expected to get down to about 78 tonight. This is Eyewitness News. Welcome back. All right, during an Equal Rights Symposium at the University of the Bahamas, President of the Bahamas National Council for Disability, Sheila Culmer, pleaded with university officials to step up to the plate and begin offering courses for those who are actually working in the field of assisting those with disabilities in the community.
Persons with disabilities if given the opportunity, can find good jobs. They can be trained. Perhaps the time has come for our university to consider several potential avenues that you can take if you have the desire to work in the field. And these are physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech language pathologists, clinical social workers, and special education teachers.
Now, according to Social Services Minister Frankie Campbell, there is no exact reasoning behind the low numbers of jobs or opportunities for those in the practice of assisting those with disability. But he says he's on a mission to execute and to find new ways to allow for more working opportunities for those who are in the field to help those in need.
I can't speak to why we don't have them, but I can say to you that we're working feverishly with the Ministry of Education. I visited the Center for the Deaf a few days ago, about 2 weeks ago. There are 2 of their instructors who began to pursue higher education abroad, but for financial reasons they were unable to complete. And I took that as a personal case to the minister, and I'm advised that we will review their situations and seek to help them because they are in the business of educating other deaf persons, which means that that community that is out there will have an opportunity to advance and further their education.
The IL Cares Foundation is doing its part to encourage early breast cancer diagnosis. This month is being observed as Cancer Awareness Month, and the nonprofit organization is hosting its 3rd annual Check It to Catch It Cancer Screening Initiative. In a press conference today, founder of the foundation, Sebastian, told the media that during the past 2 years, the initiative has welcomed over 700 participants and was able to detect early cancer stages in at least 3 of those people. The initiative has been hosted at the Fort Terrace Diagnostic Center for the past 2 years, but Sebastian announced today that the organization is now welcoming Grand Bahama on board, and plans are also underway to include other family islands. Chief Radiologist Dr. Elizabeth Darville and Supervisor of the Radiology Department of the Lucayan Medical Center in Freeport, Cleopatra Cooper, expressed gratitude to the foundation for this initiative.
I've been living in Grand Bahama for about 15 years. And I would say about 75% of the patients that I've diagnosed, based on the amount of patients that I've seen, out of that you would have about 7 out of the 10 patients that would have been diagnosed due to a mammogram being done.
It is very important at any time of the year, but because October is designated as Breast Cancer Month, people like Island Luck and other responsible community organizations take the opportunity in October to extend this sort of thing to their clients or their staff or whoever. But it is important all through the year.
Well, wife of the Prime Minister, Patricia Minnis, serving in her capacity as a member of the Spouses of CARICOM Leaders Association, visited the Claridge Primary School today as Miss Bahamas, Bernice Gibson, launched her latest initiative to fight childhood obesity. Gibson's school tour will run until Friday, with visits to Uriah McPhee, Sadie Curtis, and Columbus Primary. Well, Mrs. Minnis telling Eyewitness News that one of the objectives of this partnership is to promote healthy living among females. It's a goal shared by Gibson, whose pageant platform is promoting good health.
Today's exercise falls in line with the healthy lifestyle of young women, girls, and adolescents. As far as my passion has always been mentoring and young women and girls. Next week, Wednesday, is International Day of the Girl Child, and so I will be going to one of the schools in Abaco to promote young women, girls, and adolescents in living their best life. I am trying to promote that there are no impossibilities, that our young women and young people can be and do anything they want.
All right, still to come, we've got your BTC connection. And coming up in sports, Randy Smith is off the top with all the latest. Randy?
Candino, with the B3A elections right around the corner, the first slate running for office was introduced yesterday. We have the latest details coming up in Eyewitness Sports. Good evening, everyone. I'm Randy Smith, and welcome to Eyewitness News Sports. Leading off tonight with the B3A general meeting and election of officers set to take place in November. Current B3A President Rosamond Carey and her slate, the Bonafide Innovators, launched their campaign last night at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Carey has selected Carl Oliver to run for first vice president, Sandra Lang for second vice president, Gail Clark as finance officer, Philip Gray as Marketing and Public Relations Officer, Cedrica Roll as Business Operations Officer, and Patrick Adderley as Officer of Technical Operations. A competing slate is expected to be announced in the coming days.
States and stakeholders, the faith in the way of united purpose and this administration will give rise to a group of individuals who are energetic, intelligent, and possesses the requisite skill set to enhance and ensure that athletics in the Bahamas remains at the forefront of sports in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Bonafide Innovators is prepared to implement a new vision and strategies that are regarded as expedient in advancing the Federation to greater heights over the next 4 years, 2019-2022.
Also, we have a few results from BISS softball yesterday. In senior girls play, SAC defeated QC 15-7 and NCA blew out Aquinas 35-3. In junior boys play, NCA beat Aquinas 12-2, QC beat SAC 10-7, and St. John's beat Princeville 11-6. We'll have results from today's senior boys and junior girls games coming up tomorrow. On the basketball front, DeAndre Ayton made his preseason debut on Monday, scoring 24 points and pulling down 10 rebounds. Despite the impressive showing, the 7-footer said he won't get too high too soon because he knows he has to be able to perform on a nightly basis, especially seeing that he was selected with the first pick of this summer's NBA draft.
It was excited for the first, preseason game, and it was just really wanted to dial in on everything Coach taught us and what the vets taught me, and just try to put it on the floor and try to win. That was my job, just mainly trying to win, because that's what I want to do for this organization, just really win. Just being more confident in your game, and your teammates will will have faith in you, and the coaches, everybody will, to be honest.
And in soccer action, the Bahamas Football Association regular season is set to get underway in the coming days, and members of the UB men's soccer team are gearing up to defend their league title. Coach Dion Gadet said the BFA League is a good way to keep the team active as the school continues to motion to join the NAIA Athletic Conference.
I think we had a very good start to the preseason in terms of playing. We just came back from playing in North America, and now we're back home, and we played a very strong team in terms of overall performance league-wise. Today we did what we wanted to do. I saw a lot of maturity from my players. I was pleased with the start, and hopefully we continue to grow on this as we continue going in towards the season, which starts October 20th.
Well, that does it for us in sports, but stay tuned. Eyewitness News continues in a moment. I'm Randy Smith. Have a great evening.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
All right, it's time now for a check on BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day.
All month long, BTC Connection is turning its lenses on small businesses. They are vital to our economy and they make a huge difference in our community. We're at Bahama Handprints, and let's go inside so we can understand how this company is truly making a difference.
Hi, my name is Alana Van Osland, and I'm a BTC small business customer.
Bahama Handprints, I really believe that the success of a business like this is that it is a truly authentically Bahamian product, and that everything about it represents the Bahamas and all that we have to offer. All of our prints are designed by Bahamian artists since 1966, and we really do try to draw inspiration regarding the colors that we use and the prints that we come up with from the islands of the Bahamas. Bahamians are proud to have things that represent them as a country and really show what they have to offer. Without the support of BTC, we would struggle to run the operations daily of this business. We're also expanding with 2 new stores by the end of this year, one out west in Island House and the other in Governor's Harbour, Eleuthera. And it's important for us to be able to stay in communication with all of our different stores, and with regards to the marketing that needs to be done. As I said at the beginning, it is a no-brainer. We could not have a successful business without the partnership of BTC.
The theme for Small Business Month is the power of partnerships. BTC and Bahama Handprints are now partners, and together, that is a powerful connection. I'm Corval Pyfrom, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day.
All right, coming up and beyond the headlines with Clint Watson. Clint and his panel have a candid discussion about the state of Princess Margaret Hospital, from malfunctioning air conditioning unit, elevator, as well as mold in the maternity ward, and now recently issues in the dialysis unit. Clint and his panel have a candid discussion about this and other issues coming up and beyond the headlines. It starts right after this. Well, that does it for us on Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Candino Knoll saying good night.